Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live YouTube lesson with me, teacher Zdenek,
and myself, Helen.
Hi,
You've
Helen.
seen me in previous lessons, if you remember me,
Are you talking to
if
me
you,
or the viewers?
the viewers, you
Yeah,
remember
okay.
me, Zdenek.
I, I think I do. Yeah. How could I not remember you, Helen?
That's impossible, I agree.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's right. We've got two options of a view. We can do this one or this one. Which one is better?
Mm.
YouTube viewers?
The second one, I would say.
This
What?
one.
No, 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 not this one, the other
That,
one.
that
Yeah,
one. Where there's
yeah.
more of our faces. More of our faces, yeah?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I think it's okay, isn't
Hello,
it?
teacher Rod. Thank you very much for showing up today.
Hello, Rod.
As a reward, I will show you up on my screen. All right. So, Helen, how is it going?
Yeah, it's okay, I guess. Um,
That doesn't sound that convincing, I guess.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Mm.
Yeah. You could say it could be worse. There are a few expressions we can use if you don't want to sound too positive. You could say it could be worse. It's one of them. It could be worse. You could say, what else? So, I guess you could say so. Sometimes people say that.
Mhm.
Or not too bad. If you say not too bad, that doesn't necessarily mean it's too good either, right? So it's not too bad. I hear it from English people all the time. All right. Hello, Arek. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. Okay, what are we going to talk about today, Helen? Have you chosen the topic yet? It wasn't your homework or anything. I'm just wondering if you have chosen the topic.
Not at all. It's supposed to be an improvised conversation. I'm totally relying on you on this one.
Don't do
Uh,
that. I'm in the same boat as you. As you said, it's an improvised conversation. It's off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. We are just recording something on the fly. It's an impromptu dialogue or conversation. I will go even further. It's a lesson. It's an English lesson because it is my job to oversee this as an English teacher. That's what I do. That's my profession. And I will be also making some notes with my fingers. I will be typing the notes in a Google document. Are you okay with this, Helen?
yeah, as usual. And you will show your notes at the end. Not at the end of the lesson, but at halfway through, when we halfway through the lesson.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good expression, by the way. I need to write it down. Uh, okay. Yeah. So it's not just mistakes that I make notes about when it comes to our lesson. It's also some interesting expressions. Yeah. So don't be surprised
Mhm.
if I do that. Okay. Well, is there anything worth talking about? Has anything groundbreaking happened in your life? Nothing special in my life. So I'm just hoping that.
It's about the same in my life, nothing to write home about. So it's not a good start to
Mhm.
to begin a conversation and not an
Yeah.
interesting one. So, but
Yeah.
starting point,
Okay. Anything happening in your country, which is France, as we know? You are French, right, Helen?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Some people may have recognized my terrible French accent.
No, it's not that bad. I told you before. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Not that bad means not that good either.
Okay, I think I have just shot myself in the foot with explaining how you can say that. Yeah. Um. Well, it's quite well known that for French speakers, learning English is tough because let's be honest, your accent is very particular, very specific, right? And very different from English. So it's not a surprise that when French people try to speak, they do sound a bit different, right? But that's okay, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to make it work somehow. And I think, considering you are C1 level learner, I think you have made it work, and you are doing a great job of learning this language. And you should be an example to everyone, Helen.
I'm trying to do it, but I've left behind the speaking skill, focused.
I'm not doing any of
focus.
that. I always make, ladies and gentlemen, this is something I always make fun of Helen because this is a fossilized area, and I feel like sometimes the way she says "focus" sounds like
oh jeez,
fuck us. Yeah, I think we will be cancelled by YouTube now. It just sounds a bit like fuck us. Yeah, Helen, focus. Okay.
So no, I never know when I'm pronouncing it right or not.
Yeah.
It would take me some time to get used to it.
Yeah. It's not that I'm not a mean teacher,
yeah.
by the way. Oh, sorry. I am. I've just interrupted my student. What were you trying to say, Helen?
I'll say that you're not a mean teacher at all. No, you're a very great teacher. Yeah. That's why I'm your student. Otherwise, I wouldn't be. You know.
Thank you, Helen. I need to write this down. That was a little mistake. But I just wanted to make a point that I'm not mean. I just like to have a laugh with my student, and sometimes it involves us making fun of the mistake the student made. Yes, sometimes it's the case, but I don't think I do it in a mean way. Like, ha 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 ha! You have made a mistake again. Look how stupid you are. No, not that kind of make fun of my student's mistake. That's not what I do. Okay, that's not how I teach English. That's not how I treat my students. No. But I think it's actually quite nice if I make fun of the mistake. It makes it more memorable for you. Yeah, it's a little bit. I guess it could be a little bit embarrassing, especially if there are more students involved. If more students are present at the class,
especially if it's live on YouTube.
Oh my god! Oh, I've already forgotten. You shouldn't have mentioned that. But the thing is, the mistakes that they can happen to me too, yeah. And then I have to be prepared, not to be a hypocrite. I have to be prepared that the student also makes fun of me, you know. But that's a bit tricky because usually students or learners don't want to do that because the teacher, you know, supposedly the authority, and you know, it's better not to.
You know, I retaliate. I'm the kind of student who retaliate.
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 Yeah.
Retaliate.
I'm just gonna write it down. It's a good verb. I know you will take revenge on me. But I think it's because we have this relationship that we know. We have this kind of teacher-learner relationship. Sometimes it's called a rapport, ladies and gentlemen. We have a good rapport, which is of utmost importance to me. It's one of the crucial things for me as an English teacher. It's essential that I have a good rapport with my student, right? So when that's the case, yeah, there's better atmosphere in the classroom, good dynamic, And sometimes maybe if people don't know us, they might be thinking that, oh, you are mean to each other. Are you really laughing at your student's mistake? And is the student really laughing at what at the teacher? So no, this is fine because that's
But
you know
a
it's like
good re- a
yeah,
good
go on.
report a good report is something important, but it what's the word? But beside of that, there is respect between each other. So
Yeah.
it's not because there is banter between us that respect is not present.
Speak for
Present.
your speak for yourself. I never said that I respect you. I don't respect my students. All I respect is the holy book of grammar. If anything like that exists, I don't think so. But the, the
Oh,
phonetic
jeez, I forgot mine.
the phonetic charts, the phonemic alphabet, that is the that is the only authority I respect. I'm just joking. Of course, you have to respect your students. If you don't respect your students, how can you then be respected by your students? It goes both ways, right? Don't you
Sure.
think, Helen? You agree?
It's an essential point. Without respect, we are not going very far.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere because I'm sitting here in my room, but yeah, metaphorically going far, you mean, yeah? Yeah? You don't have to
Of
always
course.
agree with you don't always have to agree with your teacher, by the way. You can disagree because I often talk about things in my lessons that could be divisive in a way that okay, let's say controversial things that
So,
people might disagree on. Yeah.
so you want me to say I disagree with you, and that respect is not an essential point between people who try to communicate.
Okay, I'm getting lost in what we are saying. If any of your listeners or viewers or whoever or whatever you're doing with this are lost in our conversation, you are not alone. Right now, I'm lost in it myself. Um, okay.
So basically, I'm
Mhm.
trying. I will rewind a bit. You've told me
Yeah.
that respect is an essential part in human relationship, or something
Did,
like
did I say that? I don't even know what I
some
said anymore. Okay.
something along those lines.
Yeah.
And once again, I agreed with you. And then you said that I don't have to always agree with you.
Yeah.
So then I said, do you expect me to tell you that I disagree with you and that respect is not an essential part when trying to have a friendly conversation with a teacher?
I think whatever I said, it has just turned against me.
You shoot
Whatever
yourself in your foot.
I shot myself in the foot. Yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
I have sowed the branch I was sitting on. Yeah. um. Yes. Okay. Well, I think it should be sue off. I'm gonna check this one. I sue off the branch I was sitting on. What's the past tense from saw off? I think it's sue off, right?
I would say so.
Wait. I'm confused. Wait. I'll just find it. To saw off the branch you are sitting on. Uh, maybe it's a regular verb, right? To sow. I don't know. I'm not sure because a saw is obviously the tool you use
And
for
to sow the verb of the
yeah,
act of using this sow.
yeah. So you saw something off. That would be the expression. But I'm not sure what the past tense is. I just
Just the
completely
same. as the
Is
past
it? Is
tense
it?
of the verb to see.
Okay.
So maybe
Past
I'm
tense.
wrong.
So, okay, it's a regular. Oh God, it's a regular verb. It's irregular, but it has a regular verb. It has a
What?
regular form as well. So to saw, to sawed off, and sawn off as well. Okay, I've just checked it in a dictionary. Yeah, that's what you have to do, listeners, when you're not sure. Yeah, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Uh,
And once
okay.
again, I agree with you.
Okay. Also, they say in a Cambridge dictionary, they say that sawed, sawn, or mainly in the US, it's just sawed. Okay, the past participle. So in British English, it's sawn. Yeah. Okay, got it. We can discuss this later, by the way, guys. We will discuss this later in terms of the language. Let's not talk about this now. Yeah, I often do that, Helen. I often do something that will harm me unintentionally.
Uh, yeah, it happens to me more often than not.
I think it's just, I just say it, it's just a thing that we say. I don't think it's actually the case. I think it's just funny when it happens. It's not always funny, is it? But if you are prepared to have a laugh about it, if you're prepared to, you know, not take it seriously, then you suddenly notice it, right? That happens. Okay, let me check if there are any people actually listening to this. Yes, there are still people listening to this. Hello, everyone. So we are doing this in two different places. First of all, um, it's taking place. The lesson is taking place in our Learn English Online Discord server via a stage channel. And then this is also on YouTube as a live lesson on Teachers Zdenek YouTube channel. It's an experiment because I like to kill two birds with one stone. Helen, do you ever do that? Or are you not such a violent person as me?
I don't know if I'm a violent person, but um, I don't like this idiom, and the organization who is in charge to protect animal rights, called Peta. Don't ask me what this acronym stands for.
What does it stand
So,
for?
okay, I will have to Google it if you really want to know.
Peta. Peta.
Mm.
Hmm.
Uh,
No, to be honest, I only asked you what it stands for because you asked me not to ask you what it stands for. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked you. If you hadn't asked me to ask you what it stood for, then I wouldn't have asked you.
I was prepared for that. You all already played that trick on me on your podcast. Remember?
All right, yeah. Don't ever say don't ask me what something means because the first thing I will do is ask you what it means, right? So I feel like it's an invitation of me asking you, of you asking
Um,
me. I mean,
yeah, I've searched for Peta, and
yeah,
Google is telling me something like 10 different possible meaning of this acronym.
yeah,
But the one we want to look at is people for the ethical treatment of animals. I think it's the one I was looking for. So this organization suggested some alternate idioms were not referring to animals in a harmful way, because the way we speak, it may seem completely harmless to say to kill two birds with one stone. Maybe when we say that we will never kill one bird or two or with stone or
I have
anything.
never killed a bird, Helen. I have never killed a bird, yet I have used this phrase about thousands of times. So I only use it because it's a good idiom. But I have never actually killed a bird.
May you allow me to be a little bit mean to you?
Okay, go ahead. I give you
Can we
1 minute.
Can we consider that a chicken is a bird?
Barely, but sure. Can't really fly, but all right, go ahead.
Yeah, it lays eggs. So maybe you haven't killed it yourself, but you paid someone in a slaughterhouse to kill it for you. So maybe it wasn't with a stone, and but it was in some other way. So I closed the vegan activism.
I have realized it's turning into a vegan lesson now. Yeah.
I won't speak about it. I'm closing the subject.
Okay.
Where was I? I was saying that, yeah. An idiom may seem harmless, but it shapes the way we think, and by using them, we make this kind of violence towards animals more common. And the problem is we don't really pay attention to it, and we may say that because of that we didn't mean it, but because we don't pay attention to it, it becomes normal, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And you have the
I
right
know
to disagree with me. You have the right to disagree with me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Listen,
I'm so kind, I know.
I don't disagree because I think I know where you're coming from. You come from France. I know it was a bad joke. No, but
And as you know, we are all savage in that country. Savages.
Savages, yeah. Who said that? Did you say that?
No, maybe I'm the only savage coming from France.
You're definitely a savage, and you're definitely from France. So I don't know about anything else if you are the only savage coming from France, but but at least you care about the rights of chickens, which is not a laughing matter.
Not at all. Not at all. Not only chickens. And
it's very nice of you. I mean, if I were a chicken, I would like you to be my guru, or not guru. I'm looking for the right word. Chief. Is that how chickens? I'm trying to think what the hierarchy in the world of chickens looks like, and I'm not sure. So I guess
was in top of the pecking order.
That's a good one. Yeah, the pecking order. We can explain that later as well.
And do you know this idiom comes from real chicken who build their hierarchy by picking among themselves.
Who built a what?
The hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
A hierarchy by picking them themselves among each other, among themselves.
Hierarchy.
One each other.
Yeah, pecking each other. You mean
Yeah.
Killing each other. You mean, in other words.
Not necessarily killing. I don't think it goes this far, pecking. But just showing by pecking who's the strongest. So this idiom can be understood quite literally.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a good one. We'll talk about it soon. As always, this is quite a bizarre lesson. The things we are talking about here, yeah, it goes all over the place, doesn't it? but that's
Yeah.
okay. That's okay because you can learn a lot from anything these days. You know, that's the thing. Like as long as we are speaking English here, which I hope we are doing. Well,
As far as I know, the language I'm using is English,
if you
but I
guys
may be wrong.
if you guys understand more or less what we are saying, that will be the proof that we are speaking English here. So let us know in the comments if what we are saying makes sense, and if not, then I guess we are not speaking English here. If it does make sense, indeed, then we are speaking English. It's as simple as this, Helen.
Well, I can tell you we're not speaking French for a start. I don't know Spanish. There are so many languages I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not fluent in. So I suppose it's English. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say we are
I,
speaking in English, talking to
I
each other in
I
English.
think so. I think so. Yeah. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions? Does any of you want to ask us anything regarding what we have just been talking about? I think we are making some people laugh here, Helen. Yeah. And also, Arek says that the most important thing is that we are understandable. Well,
Thank God.
thank God for that. Yeah. Um, okay. So, shall we move on to the second part of the lesson, Helen? Are you ready for that, or would you like to speak some more before we do that?
Let's get cracking. I can still talk a bit while you're explaining things to me.
Oh, there's hard-earned skills has just arrived. Is somebody calling you, Helen, in the middle of our lesson? How dare you not to turn off your phone during our lesson? You're gonna be punished.
I'm dreading it already.
In the good old days, when the corporal punishment existed,
You're that kind of teacher.
you know what would happen to the kids, yeah? You know what would happen?
The ruler on the being hit on the fingers with a ruler.
Or
it's quite barbaric, isn't it?
It is barbaric. That's why it was that's why it was banned, I think. Yeah, that's why teachers don't use it anymore. Okay? I wanted to make a joke that some teachers used to use a rod, but I'm not sure it's a good I'm not sure it's a good joke because we have someone whose name is Rod here. Yeah. Teacher Rod.
And you may have made a rod for your own back, Zdenek.
Here we go again. This is an idiom that only participants of my event on Discord called the Insane Idiom Hour know. Because one day when Rod started joining this event, teacher Rod, that is watching this YouTube live as well. One day he came to join the show. I thought that I felt like it was my duty to come up with an idiom that has the word rod in it, just to be funny, you know. So I found the idiom: you have made a rod for your own back, right? Is that the idiom, Helen?
Yeah. As far as I can remember, it's this one. And you've done a great job with this event because participants do remember those idioms, as you can see.
You mean Helen? But Helen's memory is brilliant, so maybe it could be just because your memory is so good, yeah?
Are you trying to butter me up?
I'm doing nothing of the sort. All right. Okay, I think that will be it for now. Let's move
Have I
on
used it
to
right?
yeah, but to butter someone up. Yeah, it's just
Mm.
flatter
The right way.
to flatter
Mm.
someone. Yeah, yeah, to give someone a compliment or something like that. Yeah, in order to win their favor or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna write it down as well. Are you trying to butter me up? Yeah. All right, I'm writing it down. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've got some notes here. Most of it are are examples of good English, good expressions that Helen and I have used in this lesson so far. We're going to have a look at it now to see what we all can learn from it. Okay, please let me know in the comments if you disagree with something or if you feel like you could contribute in any way. Um, and now I have to figure out how to share my screen, which I already know. I'm just really bad at doing it while speaking. So just give me 1 second of me not talking. Yeah, Google document. I'm sharing the Google Doc with you. Yeah, okay, here we go. So this is English lesson number
Uh, I'm,
21.
fr- I'm, I'm fresh. Fresh.
You are fresh. Your nationality is fresh. Okay, I think there was a typo there. French. Let's make it
Um,
red because there was a mistake. We're gonna make it red. Nah, no, 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 no. That looks weird. Okay, so lesson notes. How do you pronounce this word, Helen?
Impossible.
Very good. So where's the stress?
The second syllable. Im- impossible.
Impossible. Yeah, that's right. Do you know how Americans pronounce this?
I'm already struggling with British pronunciation or something that that is not too far from that. No, I have no idea.
Okay, I'm just trying to make this more interesting because your answer was impeccable. So I thought we might as well draw this out a bit. Impossible. Impossible. I think that's how they pronounce it. It's about this O, because in British English, this is O sound. In American English, very often when there is an O sound, it would be pronounced as ah. Impossible. Everybody, everybody. Yeah, things like that. So just impossible or impossible. In British English, impossible. I will show you your notes when I will show. What is this? What
You you
show? I will
you
show you
will show
our notes, right? I'll wait. uh, I
you will
sometimes
show.
you will
I'm
show your
not
notes.
you
Oh,
will
this is what you said. This is what you said. You will show
yeah.
your notes when we are halfway through the lesson. Right. Now, the reason I'm interested in this sentence is not because I will show my notes, which I've already done, by the way. Um, this is interesting for this expression, halfway through something. Halfway through. So, what does it mean, Helen, to be halfway through the lesson?
To have accomplished half of the lesson, and the second half is still to be done. To
Yeah, that's it. That's
accomplished.
it.
I'm not sure if it's the right
Yeah,
verb.
to complete. Yeah, to yeah
Yeah,
to do the first half of the lesson, and then, well, if you're halfway through, you're kind of in the middle of the lesson, right? To put it
right in the
simply,
middle.
right in the middle, actually. Yes. It's sometimes hard to determine if you are, especially if you are not as disciplined as I am, for example. Um, Sometimes I forget about the time during my lessons, and I end up teaching too long. And my students have to tell me, Zdenek, it's time to finish. um, and more often than not, my students don't tell me because then they get more, then they can have longer lessons. I just enjoy my job. You see, guys, I enjoy teaching, so I forget. But I've also taught lessons when I would look at my watch or at the clock, let's say if there was a clock in the classroom, every 1 minute, maybe.
How could you be so bored while
I don't
teaching?
I don't do that with one-to-one students though. It usually happened in a classroom with some teenagers or someone who didn't really want to be there. You know how it goes sometimes. Yeah. So to be halfway through something. So what else could you be halfway through, Helen? Is there anything else
Um,
you could be halfway through as well?
Pretty much anything.
Okay, give us
Um,
an example.
a tunnel, are halfway through a semester at university, or
Right. A term, yeah,
uh,
halfway through your
mm,
term. Hmm.
halfway through a lesson, halfway through
Could you be halfway
any
through,
kind of
yeah,
a meeting.
a
Yeah.
meeting?
What's
Yeah, that's
your
yeah, that's
through
right.
a project you have to complete, and you've done
Yeah,
more or less half of the tasks.
yeah, that's right. By the way, you can replace the word halfway with a different word. You could say 2/4 through the lesson, for example. Yeah, or 2/4.
So,
No,
but I
two
think
thirds.
it would be
It doesn't make
it
much
would
sense. Wait. Hang on. I need to correct
it would
myself.
be
Two
splitting
quarters.
hair. It
Yeah,
would be splitting hair.
in terms of mathematics, that doesn't make much sense. So 2/3 through the lesson, for example, yeah, or 1/3
Mhm.
through the lesson, or something. 1/3 through the lesson. Yeah. Okay. Then you said it's nothing to write home about. That's another, I think, idiom that you learned from me from the Insane Idiom Hour. Am I right?
I cannot remember.
I think, yeah. I think I overuse this expression sometimes, so that's why. Because you know how we always ask each other, "How are you?" at the beginning of the event, and I just like to use this expression because it sounds a bit underwhelming, because I like to be a little bit cynical at times when it comes to talking to the event participants. It's part of the banter, I guess. And one of the cool expressions is nothing to write home about. Have you done anything special lately? Nah, nothing to write home about. Yeah, Helen, this is the
No,
tricky
no,
word.
no,
This
no,
is
no,
the,
no,
this
I'm
is the
not
tricky
pronouncing
trick
this one.
tricky word. It could be a verb. It could be a noun as well. It could be a noun too. So go ahead.
Um, can I go backwards? No.
Sorry.
Can I go backwards? Not ahead,
Oh,
but backwards.
backwards.
Backward.
You mean you
Uh,
wanna read this from the back or what?
no,
What
no,
you mean?
just where I am, and just skip it and go
Ah,
to
right.
the
Right. Come back to it later and hope that I forget about it. Yeah, is that what you are trying to do?
something along those lines.
All right.
um, focus, focus.
Focus. Focus. So there is a sound. Okay, I'm gonna use the dictionary that you have
The
suggested to
schwa,
me.
the o, the
No, wait.
k, and o, and
It's a diphthong. It's a diphthong. Yeah. So I'm using a special
with
dictionary to.
with the type of a schwa. It's not a schwa, but it's written like a schwa, and the omega symbol for the o.
Omega symbol.
Uh,
Okay. Yes,
I've
that's it.
I've, I've
That's it.
trained, but no, nothing helps.
This
Nothing
is the
helps.
word. Yeah, I'm using a dictionary, 2phonetics.com, which is the one you recommended to me the other day, and I think it's a really good dictionary. And focus, focus, yeah, focus.
Focus.
So this is the diphthong fo, It's the same one that you use in words like phone or go or stone, yeah, or
Phone,
show,
focus,
sh-
focus,
foe,
foe,
focus, foe.
focus,
There's another word, foe, actually, which means enemy. Yeah, foe,
foe.
foe, and foe is another word for enemy. Um, okay, and then the the last syllable is just kus, kus. Yeah,
Just
it's a schwa sound.
mm,
Focus. So not fuck us, focus. All right. Oh, in one of the previous live shows, we also were explaining
toe.
the body parts. I think we did it with in the live show with Monica. So another word, toe, right? Toe. It's like a finger on your foot. A toe. The same. It has the same sound. Oh, focus.
So considering I'm pronouncing toe correctly,
Yep.
toe, foe, focus.
hmm Focus.
Ah,
Toe. Foe.
I will
Go.
start with
Oh,
toe if you if you
toe.
allow me.
Yeah.
Toe, foe, focus.
Sometimes the reason we just get it wrong, it could be a fossilized error that you have always pronounced it in that kind of way, and nobody ever told you that it's wrong. Yeah. This is what happens when you never have a teacher, by the way, listeners. Yeah. So you might be thinking, I don't need a teacher. I don't need a teacher. I can do this on my own. Yes, you can do almost everything on your own. I agree. Because the internet is just, it gives you so many options as a learner. But there should come a point when someone should give you feedback about your English. And it should probably be someone who understands um, English as a subject, as a field. Yeah. So that's where people like me come in. Okay, so you because as we know, I'm a great
Oh
teacher.
no 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 no,
Excuse me. You
I
why are you
think you. Yeah,
why are you
you're a great teacher. I'm not questioning that.
why are you stammering?
I'm stammering because you know that when I'm writing, I will never ever write write those kind of sentences. I hope you know it.
No,
You're a
no.
great teacher,
This is what you
very
said,
great.
though. This is what you said. You said you are a very great teacher. So there are two
No,
mistakes
no, no.
here.
You're very. At some point I wanted to finish it in some other ways, and then I glued it with connected it with a second half of a sentence, and
Helen, sorry. This is
yeah.
confusing. This is confusing for people listening.
Sorry.
What's happening now? So we are looking at what you said. You said you're a very great teacher. Yeah. So what's wrong with
Yeah.
it?
First, you take away the very.
Mm.
It has nothing to do.
Why can't you use the word very here?
Because great is a strong adjective, and you don't use very with strong adjectives.
That's right. So um, that's for example, you cannot say you are very awesome. Yeah, that's not allowed either. Or you are very gorgeous. Or what else? It's very freezing here. This is just not possible because you have some adjectives that cannot be graded. Those are called, as Helen said, strong adjectives. Yeah. So
And once you take away the very, you can replace it, swap it, switch it with a with an
yeah,
article. You're
you
a
said
great teacher.
you can, but I think you should because otherwise it's a mistake, in my opinion. Yeah, you need to say if you are sort of classifying who I am, you say she's a doctor, he is a musician, they are no, it has to be singular, right? She's a journalist, right? You are a great teacher. Okay, so you need the article because you're kind of classifying who these people are. I'm the kind of student that will retaliate. So I've just pronounced it for you, but I think there was no mistake. I think it's just I just want to point to this verb to retaliate. Yeah, I'm just gonna check quickly the pronunciation. Um, retaliate. Yeah. So once again, what does it mean to retaliate, Helen?
To fight back, to give back the hits you've received
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
figurative or a literal way.
Sense. Yeah. I think this
Mm.
may come from war. This word comes from war. For example, the terrorists retaliated against the government with a bomb attack. That's something I found here in the Cambridge Dictionary. Or the demonstrators threw sorry, the demonstrators threw rocks at the police, who retaliated by firing blanks into the crowd. Yeah, so
Mm.
it's like you fight back, as Helen says, or you take revenge, or you do something harmful to someone because they have done it or said it. They have done something similar to you, or they have done something else to you, let's say. Okay. Now, this word, how do you pronounce this word, Helen?
Um, rapport, rapport,
Ra- rapport. Yeah, rapport.
rapport,
Rapport.
rapport.
It's, by the way, even if you guys don't know what it is like another way to say good relationship, basically. If you have a good rapport with your students as a teacher, then you have a good relationship. Yeah,
It's quite formal, isn't it?
it's quite formal, I would say, but yeah, I think it's used. It's definitely used. Okay. Now, crucial, essential.
Crucial, essential. You just
No,
said it.
no mistakes. No mistakes. I just thought these words are quite nice. Um, both of them are again strong adjectives, so you cannot say it's very crucial. It's very essential. I think instead you have to say it's absolutely crucial. It's absolutely essential. So if something is crucial and essential, what does it mean, Helen?
Um,
Does it mean that we have to do it?
of course, we have to. It's crucial. It's the central, the heart of something. The central part, the most important part.
Yeah. So it's very.
Is
Another word is very important. Yeah. Or
and stress in the
necessary.
second syllable in important.
Yes, that's right. We have already dealt with that. Yeah. Important. This is a very nice expression that Helen uses a lot, and if you don't know, if you sort of want to soften what you've just said, maybe you're not sure, or you wanna. I should probably give an example. So, for example, you could say something like, mm, Paris is the capital of France. And if you are not sure about what you have just said, you could say, or something along those lines. It sounds kind of humorous. You make it lighthearted,
Mm,
but I mean, in this case, it's a fact, so it's a bit weird. But you could say it if you're not sure. You could simply say it like that. Yeah, it means you are sort of admitting that you might not necessarily be correct or sure about this. Yeah. So it's like you're making whatever you say, you're making it less strong, little bit more vague. It's similar to or something like that.
mm.
Okay. And this expression, I shot myself in the foot. So it's not literally, you don't literally shoot yourself in the foot. When could I use this idiom, Helen? Or the other one, I saw off the branch I'm sitting on.
You when you teach English to a student, you in some way you are sewing the branch you're sitting on because
Mhm.
when they become proficient in English, they don't no longer in need of you. They no longer need you. So you are by teaching English, you are still sowing the branch you're
Yeah,
sitting on.
I think maybe the easiest way would be to, you can also say to cut the branch you are sitting on. Yeah, so you sort of do something. Maybe you are trying to be helpful, or you have good intentions, but or some kind of a plan, let's say, and then by your actions you actually end up hurting yourself. I think another expression could be to score an own goal, right? For an own goal. So you accidentally harm yourself. It was not your intention to do that, but you end up hurting yourself. Yeah. So I think the expression to make a rod for your own back actually belongs to this category of words. So let's just put them all um, like this. No, this one doesn't belong there. Yeah. All these four expressions, I think, mean the same thing essentially. Don't you think, Helen?
Not exactly.
Which one do you disagree
Uh,
with?
the last one is maybe slightly different.
Mm.
It's like giving an argument to the other party, to the adverse party, that they can use against you.
It could be, yeah. But if you look at the definition in a dictionary, it says you do something that inadvertently creates trouble or misfortune in the future. I agree that it's not completely the same as this, but I think it's the similar.
Mm. Yeah,
It
yeah.
has the
I agree.
similar.
They are similar. They
Yeah,
are
all these
similar.
expressions, in my opinion, are kind of similar, and it's quite useful to when you are learning idioms or any vocabulary for that matter. If you can learn them in a group like that, that can actually uh, help, right? Because you can kill two birds with one stone. You can learn more things at the same time. Yeah, Helen doesn't like this idiom. I think there is an idiom to feed
Two
two
birds
birds
with
with
one
one
scone.
scone, which is the alternative for vegans or anybody who does not like violent idioms about animals and birds
And
in
uh,
particular.
this is not an official idiom, so
What's
people
in
might know. Hmm?
how do you
It,
pronounce this word, Helen?
official
Oh, this one.
idiom,
Idiom.
idiom,
I-
idiom,
idiom. Yeah, here
idiom,
is you have a schwa sound here. Idiom.
idiom, idiom.
Idiom. Hmm.
It's not an official idiom. It's definitely not Cambridge approved, but just Peta
Well,
approved.
it's an alternative that some people came up with because they thought that the bird the bird version was too violent. Yeah, so I mean it's possible that it is already in the dictionary. Yeah, so as we know, languages evolve. A language is a living organism, so you can't just say that these are the words we have and that's it. Yeah, that there will be new words that enter the lexicon as we go along every single day. I think new words are added. So I'm closing the subject. That's what you said, Helen, and then you said, "Where was I?" Which I found particularly useful. This expression, "Where was I?" to buy yourself more time when you don't know what to say next. Yeah. Uh, is there a similar expression that we could use to refer to more people than just one?
Where were we? Uh,
Where were we? Yeah.
where,
Where were we?
where, where, where?
It's a tongue twister, isn't it?
You did that on purpose, just to
I
make
did
fun
not
of
do
my
that.
pronunciation.
I did not do that on purpose. But I think it's quite useful to learn these two at once. Because you can feed two birds with one scone.
I've seen what you did here.
Yeah. So where were we? Okay. You said this is what you said. Yeah. You said the thing is. Sorry. You said the thing is. Should not be a comma. I think. The thing is, or should they be a comma? Maybe there is a comma. The thing is, we don't really pay attention. You said the thing is, we don't really pay attention to it. Now, so I just wonder if you look at that clause, we don't really pay attention to it. Which of these? We are looking at what's called sentence stress, ladies and gentlemen. Now, yeah. So,
which is a thing I'm perfectly mastering, as you know it very well.
I mean, I think this is useful for everyone. Yeah, everyone who's learning English or teaching it for that matter, because you should understand sentence stress. If you do, then if you are a teacher, you can teach it to your students, obviously. You can explain this and you can make your students or learners sound more natural and make it easier for people to understand what the learner is saying, actually. So, or your student. So, if you look at the whole sentence, yeah, if you are analyzing what's called sentence stress, yeah, that is the linguistic term for it. This is not how we spell it, though. Wait, sentence stress. Yeah. You are looking at all the words in the sentence, and you have to decide which of the words are stressed and which of the words are not stressed. So, which words do you think should be stressed in this sentence?
If it's not the verb pay, it should be attention. We should pay attention to it.
So
we don't really pay attention to it.
Hang on a minute. I think let's we are mixing up two things. So I didn't say that you shouldn't stress pay. The problem I had with the way you said it was that you kind of overstressed it. It sounded more important. It sounded like the most important word in that sentence, which it is not. So the first thing you have to do is to decide which words are stressed, which are not. It's the first stage. And then sometimes also even the stressed words have a bit of hierarchy. They have the pecking order. So the word attention is, in my opinion, stressed, right? Because it is a noun. The word pay is the main verb. It should also be stressed. Anything else?
I will just stress everything just to be on the safe side.
No, that's not.
The thing is, so the thing is, we don't really pay attention to it.
Yes. I think the word thing, the thing is, it's a noun. So I think nouns are stressed. The verb has to be stressed. If it's a main verb, it has to be stressed. How about don't? Do we stress don't?
It's a grammatical word, so usually it's not stressed, unless we really want to stress the fact that we don't really stress the negative.
But I think you are right that grammatical words are usually not stressed. But I think in case of negatives, I feel like the rule is broken. Yeah. So you say we don't really pay attention to it. It is kind of stressed, right? The thing is, like let me pronounce it in a natural way. The thing is, we don't really pay attention to it. We don't really pay attention to it. You know. So I think the words that are really not stressed are only the, we, to, and it. In my opinion, I think even really is stressed. But then, so that's the first stage. You just decide which words are stressed, which are not. This is my opinion as a teacher. I think all these words are stressed. Okay, but I think there's a different level of stress. So we don't really pay attention. I think the word attention The thing is, the word is carries the most stress, and the word attention. The thing is, we don't really pay attention to it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think these two words are the most stressed words. That's why I've completely underlined them. Okay. The pecking order. So pecking. What's pecking, Helen?
Packing, as I said, it's related to volatiles like chickens, who are pecking, attacking some other chicken with their beak.
With their
Uh,
what? With their what?
with their beak,
Beak.
beak,
Beak.
beak,
Beak.
beak,
Long E.
beak,
Beak. Yeah.
beak.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the pecking order, it's a word that primarily comes from it's a corporate word and corporate society is
Hmm.
related to management.
Yeah.
It's related to the hierarchy. It's it's
Hierarchy.
done. It's
Hierarchy.
a hierarchy. It's if I got it right, it's the unspoken hierarchy. It's not official, but
Hierarchy.
there are some kind of underlying hierarchy.
Yeah. Hierarchy. Right. Correct. So if you are, for example, ahead of the pecking order, um, in football,
You're the
in the world of
you're the
football, if you are
first one
ahead,
to be chosen.
yeah. So, for example, in football, when the manager has to decide which 11 players will play, the players that are ahead of the pecking order, I think we use that quite often. I'm not sure about on top of the. I guess it could be fine too. Ahead of the pecking order, it means you will be chosen more likely than anyone else, right? You are kind of in a good position there. Okay, so to peck means to do that thing that the birds do when they are trying to, I don't know, when they eat, basically, right? They have to peck, and also it's like a short kiss. You also it's like a like a short kiss to peck. The beak, yeah. This is a difficult one to pronounce. Just let me just check it again.
Hierarchy,
Hierarchy, hierarchy, hierarchy, hierarchy,
hierarchy,
hierarchy.
hierarchy,
Yeah, that's it. Hierarchy. It's actually the stress is apparently on the first syllable. Hierarchy. Okay.
hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Yeah. And how about this one, Helen? How is this one pronounced?
I've got it wrong again. Event, event,
Event. Event.
and
Yeah.
event.
Event. The stress is on vent. Yeah. And are you trying to butter me up? So to butter someone up, what does it mean again, Helen?
To compliment someone in order with the hope of getting some advantages when you're expecting something from someone.
Exactly. To praise or flatter someone excessively, and usually because you want something from it or something. I'm just gonna put it in brackets here. All right. Well, I hope you have learned something from this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching this live YouTube. What is it? Live YouTube show, live YouTube lesson. Um, and also, thank you for listening in the state channel of Learn English Online. Um, I hope it was interesting for you and you've learned something new. I've just repeated myself. People are saying thank you. They seem to be happy. It's a pleasure, Mocking. It's a pleasure. Um, there's even a suggestion that we could do an event that where we would read short stories by members to practice reading. Yeah, you know what, Mocking? Why don't you take charge of it? You could be the event host. I'm sorry. Um, Helen, what about you? You could do it. No, Helen doesn't seem too impressed, ladies and gentlemen. She's laughing,
Yeah,
sniggering. I guess.
it's been well, um, you've been hoping that I'm taking charge of an event since for you've been hoping that for 1 year already. So you're trying once again to convince me to take charge of an
Yep.
event. So
Hopping? What have I been hopping or hoping?
um, it's quite cold where you where you are. So maybe hoping will help you to warm up. You're
Hopping,
just
hopping,
hoping,
hopping,
hoping,
hopping will help. Hopping will help
hoping.
you to warm up, and hoping is when you are, well, that's a difficult one to explain, but you are sort of. Mm, how do you explain the word hope? I hope that something will happen. It's just you expect a positive outcome, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, something like that. Um, and when my students make a mistake with these two words, I hop mad. There's a word to be hopping mad. That's a good expression. Hopping mad. Do you know it?
Um, Not this
To get
one.
it means to get extremely angry if you hop mad. Yeah.
You know how I remember there's a difference between hoping and hoping.
Yeah.
It's because of the your favorite series. What's the name? Mind Your
Mind
Language.
your language. Mind your language. Yeah.
And
This is something
in the
I
first
recommend.
in the first in the first episode, there's a character who is saying, "I'm hoping to be unrolled," instead
Yeah.
of,
Is
of,
Ali Ali
hoping of
Nadine.
the
His name
yeah.
is Ali Nadine. Yeah, it's a brilliant TV show. Everyone, you should check it out. It's available on YouTube, and it's very very funny indeed. Mind your language. Whether you're a student or a teacher, it's a must see show. Okay, I highly recommend it. All right, guys, if you have been enjoying this live lesson, um, please show your appreciation by clicking the like button and leaving a comment as well, because it will help the channel. Thank you very much. And yeah, I guess that's it for today, Helen. Thank you
Hmm,
for
think
attending
so.
the class.
Thank you, Zdenek, for leading the class.
You're very welcome. It is my job. Thank you for not being absent. And yeah, and absent minded.
I guess I will not.
No, that is usually my job, to be absent minded. So don't worry. I can do this for you. All right. So bye, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye, all.